Alright guys, so today we are going to be discussing which cards will be still viable after rotation, mainly for support cards that will improve deck's consistency, overall functionality, being able to function, how these cards will still be viable. They will be probably used, will have potential in the decks moving forward, and overall why they will be good. And yeah, so let's start off with Pokemon with broken abilities, such as these I have laid out for you guys. I think these are all going to be pretty good, especially Noctowl. Losing Lumineon and other Pokemon in that sort will be good. Why are these Pokemon considered to be good engines moving forward? Drawing more cards, first of all, being able to draw more cards means more options, more routes to go with. If you have more cards and you're a good pilot, you can find ways to do certain things. Just more options is good. Also, these cards have good energy acceleration. Energy acceleration allows you to get those attacks going, get your Pokemon set up, have frequent attackers. Free retreat Pokemon are also going to be useful, such as Badoo, because having that free pivot is going to be very nice when you're getting knocked out and you want to promote new attackers. So that is another thing to be considered on what makes a good card, like a good support engine, is increasing that flow of being able to pivot. A Latios is good for that, especially. And then also these cards will be valuable and viable because of the loss of Lumineon V. Being able to search cards now will be, like Noctowl, will be very, very important to be able to get those cards you need, such as rare candies, evolution vines, ultra balls, any sort of stadium, anything that you did have before with Forest Seal Stone and Lumineon. So yeah, cards like Noctowl will be a lot more playable and a lot more of a necessity. And then yeah, overall, like cards like Gardevoir, cards that can excel energies, Charizard, a Gardevoir, and other cards like Excalibur will just be good because those will allow you to ramp energies, an insane amount of energies, and without energies you can't really do much in this game. So yes, I do think that these will be the Pokemon. I do think that there are also Pokemon like Archaludon and like I said, Gardevoir, that moving forward, any new type of Pokemon such as Metal, Psychic will be always considered using Gardevoir and Archaludon, stuff of that nature. Possible trainers that will be considered moving forward. These are all basically most of the trainers that I think will just be very good and will have potential in decks. And I think that if you can use these with the right combination of decks and strategies, they will definitely have a way to shine and make decks tier 1, tier 2. And I think these are the cards that you should definitely have and keep on to moving forward. If you want to build decks, I think that these cards are all good and will have some time to shine after this rotation. Especially cards like Crispin, that we did see a little bit, but I think that over in Japan we've seen to be even more popular because of the energy acceleration, and I mean just the very like utility it has in most decks. Like pretty much any deck can play Crispin because it allows you to get any type of energy card. It doesn't have to be for any specific Pokemon, and it doesn't have to be a specific energy type. So Crispin overall is just a very generic good card that I think can always be considered in any deck you play for the most part. And then I think a card like TM Evo as well is going to be huge in evolving your Pokemon in stage 1s, playing through Badoo. I think we're going into a heavy Badoo format, and I think a lot of these trainers can play it well into Badoo. A card like Jainin Secret Arts is a card that wasn't really played at all this past format, but I think that moving forward, that's a card that if that does help Dark Pokemon and gives Dark Pokemon some support. So those are some examples of cards that I would always hold on to and consider moving forward if they ever do decide to print better Dark type Pokemon. We don't know what cards will come out in the future, so cards like that will always have potential. Why are these trainers worth considering moving forward? First of all, these trainers provide, not all of them, but they do. Some of them provide draw, some of them provide energy acceleration and access to key cards needed, and then some of these cards also provide both or a combination of those things. Those are really good in the game. Really important to be able to have your deck function. Can accelerate energies well. Yeah, cards like Professor Sawdust being able to attach energies is an example. To attach to 2 different ancient Pokemon is really good. Even a card like Crispin that can't accelerate energies as powerful as Sawdust is better in the sense because it's more generic and can be used in not just a specific archetype. It can be used in any type of deck. So yeah, and then also all these cards are able to discard cards. Like a card such as Earthen Vessel is great because it can also discard a card, as well as Ultra Ball, where a lot of the times cards can only function if they're in the discard pile. Like if you did play Sawdust Vitality as an example, you need to have energies in the discard pile to be able to return them back to Excel energies. Overall though, some of these cards are just going to be very, very good because they can improve your setup, your consistency, and just your ability to play the game and function. Without energies, without draw, it's going to be very hard for you to do stuff, especially in the game where turns end really fast and the setup is extremely important. If you don't set up more often than not, it's going to be hard to come back even with cards like Iono. So I do think that moving forward, the format is going to become very setup based, and therefore cards like TM Evo, Arven, cards that can just search everything and get you going from turn 1 will just be very good. Like obviously Poffin will be a 4 of in pretty much every deck that can play it, as well as Nest Ball. So, and yeah, I do think that these cards will not be going anywhere and definitely should be staples to have. The more impressive cards is going to be Arven.